Ronald L. Mace and the Principles of Universal Design by AZLAN ADNAN, M.A., Tuesday, the 11th of November, 2025. Introduction. Ronald Lawrence Mace, 1942 to 1998, was an American architect, product designer, and educator who reshaped how society views accessibility and inclusion. A survivor of childhood polio, Mace used a wheelchair for most of his life and turned that lived experience into a catalyst for social change. He believed that architecture should not merely accommodate people with disabilities, but serve everyone equitably. From that conviction emerged the philosophy of universal design, a framework that blends usability, dignity, and beauty. Early life and education. Born in New Bern, North Carolina, Mace contracted polio at 9 and lost the use of his legs. Despite the barriers he faced, he pursued architecture at North Carolina State University, NCSU, graduating in 1966. The campus and buildings he studied in were far from accessible. Yet this only strengthened his determination to design a world that did not exclude. From accessibility to universal design, Mace's early work focused on building accessibility standards for people with disabilities. He was instrumental in drafting the North Carolina State Building Code for Accessibility, the first of its kind in the United States. Over time, he saw that accessibility codes, though essential, tended to treat people with disabilities as exceptions. They added ramps and lifts after the fact, rather than designing inclusivity from the start. That realization led Mace to coin and develop the concept of universal design, a design approach that seeks to make spaces, products, and systems usable by everyone without special adaptation. His vision was not about compliance, but about seamless inclusion, where accessibility was an inherent quality rather than a retrofitted feature. The 7 Principles of Universal Design. In the 1990s, Mace and a multidisciplinary team at NCSU's Center for Universal Design formalized 7 guiding principles that remain influential worldwide. 1. Equitable use, useful and marketable to people with diverse abilities. 2. Flexibility in use, accommodates varied preferences and abilities. 3. Simple and intuitive use, easy to understand regardless of experience or literacy. 4. Perceptible information, communicates effectively regardless of sensory abilities. 5. Tolerance for error, minimizes hazards and accidental misuse. 6. Low physical effort, enables comfortable and efficient use with minimal fatigue. 7. Size and space for approach and use, provides adequate space for use regardless of body size, posture, or mobility. These principles have since guided the design of buildings, products, and technologies, from public parks to digital interfaces, ensuring inclusivity is built in, not bolted on. Major contributions and legacy. In 1989, Mace founded the Center for Universal Design at NCSU, a hub for research, training, and advocacy. His work extended into shaping legislation such as the U.S. Fair Housing Amendments Act, 1988, and the Americans with Disabilities Act, 1990. Though those laws focused on accessibility, his broader message was that true equity comes from universal usability. Many everyday conveniences trace their origins to his philosophy: curb ramps, automatic doors, lever handles, tactile signage, captioned media, and flexible workspaces. What once were considered special accommodations are now standard conveniences appreciated by all. Universal design in contemporary context. Today, the principles of universal design extend well beyond architecture. They influence inclusive education, transportation systems, digital platforms, and urban planning. The approach has inspired movements like Design for All in Europe and inclusive design in the UK, each adapted to local contexts, but grounded in the same ethos of equity and participation. Governments, universities, and design institutes across the world now teach universal design as both a professional and ethical standard. Its scope has broadened to include social, cognitive, and cultural dimensions of inclusion. Philosophical underpinnings. Universal design is not merely a technical concept. It reflects a moral stance. It challenges the assumption of a single average user and instead celebrates human diversity. By designing for the margins, it enhances the experience for everyone. Mace often said that universal design was about human dignity, not disability, a statement that continues to resonate in discussions of equity and justice. Conclusion. Ronald L. Mace passed away in 1998 at the age of 56, but his influence remains foundational. His vision turned design into a form of social advocacy and redefined beauty as inclusivity. The best tribute to his legacy lies not in monuments, but in the spaces, products, and technologies that now welcome everyone equally. Universal design reminds us that good design is not only functional, but also just. International Day of Persons with Disabilities, Wednesday, 3rd of December, 2025. Every year, 3rd of December is officially recognized by the United Nations as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. It has been observed globally since its proclamation in 1992 under UN General Assembly Resolution 4730. The day promotes understanding of disability issues, supports the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities, and raises awareness of the importance of inclusion in all spheres of life: political, social, economic, and cultural.
don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.